The CW's DC offerings seem to be expanding all the time, and every show has a devoted core of fans. I stopped watching some time ago because I ran out of hours in the week, but with these new gallery PVC statues from Diamond Select Toys, I'm trying to think of a way to make time for at least one of them again in the near future. Green Arrow was the one who started it all, and Diamond seems to have translated that significance into this gallery. Ollie's is a bigger statue than his friend's, partly owing to his height, but also to his straighter pose and the greater elevation of this particular base. The sculpt is outstanding, with lots of nice texture on the black cloth parts of the suit. The face looks impressively close to Stephen Amell for a plastic statue of this size, and the proportions of the body ring true, too. The bow isn't especially impressive in terms of detail, but it doesn't look bad either. One of my favorite parts, though, is the base. Whereas most of the DST galleries I've reviewed have featured realistic bases, ones meant to look like they're a part of some real action, this one is a bit more stylistic, sort of a minified version of the Queen Industries building. The paint on it, as on the rest of the statue, is very good as well. See for yourself. Grant Gustin's Flash is an immensely popular take on Barry Allen, and I imagine this gallery will be an immensely popular take on that take. The face, what we can see of it anyway through the mask, looks fairly Gustin-y, and the suit is bang on. I'm not usually a fan of lightning effects on these statues, mainly because I don't think they ever look as real as the rest, but I'm pretty happy with what they did here. It actually looks pretty good. The paint on Flash is comparable in quality to Arrow. I wish the show would give him a brighter red costume, but it is what it is, and DST has captured the show's aesthetic perfectly. I'm not sure exactly what Barry's base is supposed to be, but it is visually interesting, and the gold color is a nice complement to the deep red of the suit. Last up, we have Supergirl, and this is a tough one. The costume, the body, and the hair sculpt, the base, all of it looks excellent. The suit has that texture that bled over from Man of Steel, the colors are fantastic, and her pose is just perfect. But her face? Her face just isn't quite right. I don't necessarily mean that it's not a good enough likeness for Melissa Benoist. Frankly, I wouldn't expect the perfect likeness here. That's hard to pull off pretty much for any maskless character, even for a company like Sideshow that's selling their stuff for 10 times the price of this or more. No, I think the problem is that from straight on, the eyes and the lips just look odd. A sharp drop in realism from the rest of the piece, and that lack of harmony is a bit distracting. The hair on mine has some nonsensical paint application up top, but even that doesn't bother me all that much. It's clearly an error in application, and for whatever reason, it isn't drawing my attention as much as that face. The good news is that from the more off-center and angle you choose, these things are less and less evident. So if you want to add Supergirl to your collection, consider her placement. One final note on Supergirl, I do absolutely love that base. It's got a real Fortress of Solitude vibe. I love it. If you're a fan of the CWDC shows, these new galleries from Diamond are a pretty affordable way to show it. For $45 a piece, you're getting statues that look an awful lot like their television counterparts. Even Supergirl can be salvaged, and heck, if you're less picky than I am, you may be just fine anyway. You can find these new gallery PVCs at comic shops or online now.